Hello there, world of tankers, and welcome to the channel. I'm of course your host, Droodles Blitz, and in today's video we are going to be going over a truly crazy battle I had earlier today. It's very rare that I make a video on battles that I play because usually I just want to talk about the tank and not the game itself. But today, that is obviously not going to be the case. Now in front of you is a crazy battle I played about a week ago. You can see it was in my 60 TP. It was 8,658 damage with 4,200 blocked. It was a 1 versus 4. And my replays were off. It was one of the saddest moments I've had ever because it was one of my highest damage games I've played ever. And my replays weren't on. Thankfully, today's battle, I did have replays on for. Now, the 60 TP is not known for getting crazy damage games out because it doesn't have a lot of damage per minute. It's pretty okay for a heavy at 2,400, but it's on the lower side. It's only really good damage per minute if you're able to use tungsten shells and adrenaline at the same time. But you also have to penetrate all of your shells, and let's be honest, this tank's accuracy is quite bad. However, the 113 is known for getting damage out. In fact, it has the most damage per minute for a tier 10 heavy in the game. If you're running gun rammer, it has base of 3,440 damage per minute. And even if you're like me, who loves running calibrated shells, you can still get out 3,200 damage per minute. Not only that, but it's got great dispersion at 0.317 and an aiming time of 3.5 seconds, making the gun fantastic. Like, yeah, on the move it's not great, and the standard penetration is quite poor as well, judging that it shoots APCR. APCR is one of the most annoying rounds for standard ammunition in the game. Premium ammo I don't mind, because usually premium APCR has very nice penetration going for it, but when you're using it as standard ammo, it's just much worse than its counterpart as AP ammunition. Not only does it lose penetration faster over distance, but it doesn't have as much shell normalization, meaning effectively less penetration. Heat shells, though, at 369 millimeters on the premium, yeah, that's going to be enough to butter through really anything, and that's obviously why I do run calibrated shells on this tank. Enough about the WZ-113 statistics, let's actually get into the battle in question and see just exactly what it can do. Now, we're on Himmelsdorf, which is a really nice map for certain tanks and not so great for others. I'm kind of indifferent when I'm playing on Himmelsdorf with a vehicle like the WZ-113, and the main reason is that this vehicle is actually not front turreted. You might think that it is. I mean, just looking at it, well, you'd say, duh, Droodles, the turret's right on the front of the vehicle. It's not like a mouse where it's mounted on the back. However, that's where you'd actually be wrong. If you look at this vehicle from an overhead view, you'll notice that the front of this tank extends very, very far forward. Meaning that, well, if you actually break it down into the literal meters of this tank in length, the turret is mounted just a tad bit further on the back than it actually is on the front. Now that causes a lot of problems because let's say, for example, this T-57 heavy on the enemy team. Now I'm poking, and normally if this was any IS series tank like an IS-7, you'd poke that and not expose your armor. But look how much of my armor I'm exposing. Not only is my lower plate showing to this 57 heavy, but the entire side of my vehicle is showing. So anybody that knows how to shoot at a 113, boom, easy shot right into the tank. And there's really no way to shoot a tank unless you poke exposing your frontal armor. A really easy way to buff this vehicle would be just mount that turret a little bit more on the front. But yeah, that is a real killer of this vehicle, is the fact that when you poke, you are exposing your very weak armor. Now, you can get some very nice bounces because of that, because you can troll people and cause them to ricochet off your upper plate, or you can be like me and make this 57 heavy shoot at my turret, and now that he's fired all 3 shells, I'm able to unload all of my damage per minute on his tank. We've already dealt 1,600, and I'm obviously not stopping anytime soon. That's another 446. 57 heavy, nice, bounces right off my upper plate, and, well, yeah, this guy is clearly not going to be living much longer. 2,438 damage dealt, and that is the entirety of the T-57 hit point pool. Now, Flossie in his 200 LT is instantly rushing over here, and I don't blame him, because if you notice, well, yeah, their team is completely steamrolling through our medium side. In fact, they have a rain platoon on their team, so I gotta be very, very careful in this situation. We're already over 3,300 damage, and this is where having a vehicle like the 113 and being able to pump out shell after shell after shell shell just feels so powerful because you can use the damage per minute to your advantage to win the battle. So we're already up to 3,700, but I'm not stopping. I need to continue pushing. So now I'm using that great top speed of 50 kilometers per hour, and I'm going to start shooting at the AIM XM4 as long as that 57 heavy gets out of my way. Now, when we talk about the armor profile of the WZ-113, it's not great. The upper plate can be troll, and you can get bounces on it. As you can see, we've blocked about 1,100, but that doesn't mean it is good. Any premium shells really on flat ground butter right through the upper plate of this vehicle. The lower plate's incredibly weak. It has no spaced armor on the sides, and the track wheel is also very, very weak, meaning that, yeah, you can quite quickly tear into a 113, especially judging that it does not have a lot of hit points. But because it doesn't have spaced armor on the sides, it's flat armor, which means it's great for side scraping with. You can see just alone there, we were able to bounce that object 268 on my side armor, and now we're up to 5,300 damage dealt. But, well, my mouse is completely destroying his hit point pool, and, well, you're going to see my 57 skill level in a moment later in this battle. There's the 268, nice shell right into the roof, and now I'm pushing up, making sure that I'm using the dead 60 TP as cover. One nice thing about the 60 TP is it's so large, I can just use that tank as cover. Beautiful tracking shot right into the object, 268, and with that, Flossie gets a nice snap in, and now I'm going to finish off the 268 with a bounce right on my upper plate. Now we've got the enemy object, 263 over here. Now the 263, as we know, has the most damage per minute in tier 10. I'm very careful on not exposing my upper plate, and I'm also trying to make sure I can finish off this enemy 263. So here we go, nice shell right into the track wheel, and backing up, now we're up to 7,000 damage dealt. But obviously, we're still not done. The enemy team is not only up on base capture, but they still have 2 vehicles left, one of them being a 1,300 health Leopard. Thankfully, I got a very lucky bounce there, which definitely comes in handy later. So, we can't get the shell into the Leopard yet, but speed and power. Come on, go, 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 go. I've blocked almost 3,000 damage. You can see Flossie getting mad at that 57 heavy. I really don't know what to say about the 57. Either way, I'm going to try and get an HE into the rear of the Leopard, but no. Oh, that's so bad. I really, really needed that HE to pen, and it just did not want to. But another shell into the Leopard. You can see my adrenaline's back. We're up to 7,800 damage dealt. I'm going to get an HE into the rear, making sure that the Leopard this time is a one-shot, and my 57 misses not only that shell, but this second shell, and then doesn't get the third one out. That 57 has got to be one of the worst 57 drivers I've seen in a while. That is incredible that you miss a tank that is literally made out of paper. Now that there was really unfortunate. Not only did the M60 really, really high roll me, making me a possible one-shot for the next shell, but as well, the M60 was able to track me, and I don't have any repair kit, so I was not able to catch that player. Now you'll notice right now, I'm making sure that they don't win on base cap at least quicker, so I'm going to cap that base, so I don't need to worry about that. And now, well, I'm going to try and clear the M60. I missed the first shot right on the edge of the turret. I'm thinking, should I load HE? Well, yeah, we'll go for an HE shell. It's just worth it to try and finish him off with an HE. So here we go, aiming in on the M60, and come on, back up. Please, please back up. Oh, we got his upper plate, and it just misses again. No. All right, well, the good news is the M60's average damage is 350, and, well, it's nothing if you bounce it, so loading heat, making sure it pens the lower plate. The M60 backed himself into a corner, and there you go, 8,600 damage dealt. That is a pretty crazy game, and you saw just how the WZ-113 was able to take advantage of that battle and come out with a victory, even with teammates like that 57 Heavy, which managed to miss probably every shell he fired in that game. These are the kind of games where I'm really happy I was able to deal a crazy amount of damage, but I shouldn't have had to deal this much damage. After the game was over, I was talking to Flossie, and I was like, I really shouldn't have had to put in this much effort. The fact that my grill did 0, our patent just completely fell apart, as you can see, and that 57 literally did nothing to help the team. These are the kind of games that get me very disappointed in Blitz, because I always have to put so much effort in just so that we can win the battle. And you can see I'm very happy about winning it. I mean, I'm incredibly grateful that I was in this tank, because to be honest, if I was in any other vehicle, if I was in a 60 TP, a Chieftain Mark 6, an E5, or any tier 10 heavy tank in that exact same situation, there is no way I would have won that battle. The only reason we were able to win that was because of the sheer DPM the 113 carries. I was able to clear that full health T57 heavy with no help apart from my DPM. So I cleared the full health 57 heavy. Then I was able to use that same DPM on the enemy 60 TP. In fact, we can see just how much damage I was able to deal to the 60 TP, which was 1300. And then after the 60 TP, we took an 800 chunk off the AMX. And then after the AMX, we pushed onto the object 263 and the 268, dealing 1600. And then another 1000 to that guy, 1300 off the Leopard. I mean, I literally shot every tank on their team for just actually over 1,000 hit points if you think about it. So, yeah, this was a battle that definitely made me freak out a bit, but I was very happy I was able to win it in the end. As I said, I really hope Wargaming does a better job making sure that you don't have teammates like that 57 Heavy on your team. Nothing against him, but man, you need to work on your aim. Either way, hopefully you enjoyed today's video, and if you'd like to see more like this in the future, I really wanted to show that 60 TP one, because that one was even crazier, but this was still a pretty crazy game. So if you'd like to see more like this in the future, please consider smashing that subscribe button down below. Bye-bye.